Ladies and gentlemen, it's your brother Bolo VNR, and the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, was at a conference today. He was at a conference today, and they were talking about national security. And he mentioned a few things. A few things he mentioned. I want to go to the last thing he said is this, and then we're going to go to that part. The part that I want to highlight. Listen to this.
First time that any government of Jamaica
Listen to this. Listen to this hogwash.
said too much about it. We are accused as a government that keeps our light under the bushel.
All right, go back. That's foolish.
Close to 14,000 policemen when I just took it. Having a good government that runs the economy well, that generates the revenues to do the things that you want, is that for the first time the JCF is now at its establishment. So for all this time the JCF was undermanned. In other words, the police per population was very low. Now you're close to 14,000 policemen. When I just took it over, they were just hovering at somewhere at about 11 with a high attrition rate. In fact, more people were leaving the force than entering the force. Now, I'm certain, if you do a survey today and you were to ask, what is the best profession to be now? The JCF, being a member of the JCF would rank very high.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop.
Hey, who mans is this? Who mans is this?
These are all things that we have done. We haven't said too much about it. We are accused as a government that keeps our light under the bushel. But a time is coming now where we have to make that light very bright. And we have, I must confess to you, and even the most jaded and biased commentator would have to say that this is the first time that any government of Jamaica can parade so many successes to an electorate or a population. It is the first time. But that's the beauty of democracy. You do your best and you leave it up to the people to decide. God bless you and thank you.
Hey, who mans is this? Who mans is this?
What can go so? What can go so? What can go so?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the Prime Minister at the National Security Forum. You want me to play that back, ladies and gentlemen? Yo, I couldn't believe when he said it. But that's not why we're here. Why we're here is because of what he said before. At this point that I'm about to play right now. Not only is this man delusional, but he's telling on himself. This man is the most unconstitutional, wicked Prime Minister I have ever seen. And that is my opinion. Listen to this.
Coordinated the disruption of public order, citizen security, and commercial activities. The ultimate objective of these gangs is to spread fear in the society, to weaken the state control in the society so that they can create a safe space in which they can conduct their criminal activities. So they use violence and the ultimate form of violence, murder, to create this fear that brings the citizen under their control as they feel helpless because the state is unable to protect them. And the longer that the state is unable to protect those citizens in those spaces, the greater the control that the gangs will have. So, if we're going to make a change in Jamaica as it relates to the level of violence and murder that we have, we're going to have to make significant impact on controlling guns coming into the country and in dealing with the criminal enterprises that we euphemistically call gangs. So, once we accept that the threats we face are transnational, then our responses must be equally transnational, and we must embrace greater security cooperation and reciprocity. In some ways, we need an international cooperation similar to the global war on terrorism. We need a global consensus that will create a global war on gangs, that will treat with them in the same way that international effort was mobilized in creating standardized legislation across jurisdictions, dealing with finances of gangs, but coordinating how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country. How exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country. How exceptional and emergency powers are used to how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country. How exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country. How exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
No, I don't know if you guys heard that, I don't know if you guys, I played it a few times for a reason. I have it on my soundboard now. This is now a new soundbite on my soundboard. I could not believe the Prime Minister said this. People, did you hear the Prime Minister a while ago? I need every one of you in the chat. All of you that is watching this premiere right now, this live stream right now, I need to know that you heard what the Prime Minister just said. I need everybody to confirm that you heard this soundbite. And I'm going to play it in real time again. Look at the screen.
Powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country. But coordinating how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
Ball out! Whoa, yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Raslin asked what is he talking about. The Prime Minister is talking about fighting crime in Jamaica. Alright? I want you to listen to what he said again. This is his approach to fighting crime in Jamaica. Using SOEs, right? So that criminals cannot hide behind being citizens of the country. Listen again in real time. Hey, JD Darkchild, call me upon 1876 451 6535. I'm out here from you know. Yeah, man. This is something to talk about. We want to hear from the citizens of Jamaica. What do you think about what the man just said? Let me play it again. Let me play it again.
How exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
So according to the Prime Minister, the citizens of Jamaica is separated from the criminals of Jamaica, and the criminals is hiding behind being a citizen of the country. So what he's doing is using the SOEs, the emergency SOEs, to take them from behind the curtain of being a citizen of the country. So basically, in this emergency situation, the police them can deal with people like them is not citizens of the country.
What can go so?
Wanna not start ball out yet?
Ball out! Whoa, yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus.
Me now pass this appointment. Me can tell you this right now. I am not moving away from this soundbite. This is what this live stream is all about. Alright? Listen me now, man. This is the National Security Council seminar. The Prime Minister is talking about fighting crime. He mentioned the overseas people coming in. He mentioned what Florida has done. He mentioned what the Trump has done in terms of deportation. He's warning the people that are being deported to come and help build and no come turn no criminal because they will be dealt with. Right? And his way of dealing with the people is that he uses the SOEs, the emergency, the same thing where Mark Golding carried him got court for. The same thing that Andrew Holness is in court for right now. Big up Mark Golding and the opposition. Because they call this out. The SOEs are being abused, right, to impede on the citizens' rights as citizens. And the man just said out of own mouth right, so ladies and gentlemen, I don't want this to go over nobody's head. I want to share the live stream. Share the live stream. Right? I mean, me can't back go further so we can hear the context of what I'm talk about. Alright? Because I don't want nobody to say, oh, you know, you're just playing a part of it. You didn't play the full context. Let us play it all now. Let's listen.
Impact on controlling guns coming into the country and in dealing with the criminal enterprises that we euphemistically call gangs. So, once we accept that the threats we face are transnational, then our responses must be equally transnational, and we must embrace greater security cooperation and reciprocity. In some ways, we need an international cooperation similar to the global war on terrorism. We need a global consensus that will create a global war on gangs, that will treat with them in the same way that international effort was mobilized in creating standardized legislation across jurisdiction, dealing with finances of gangs, but coordinating how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
So I think you have heard enough of a full context. But I'll make me continue. Listen to this. You notice how him pause? You notice how him pause?
It will require
Him pause, you know. And I look on the cultural reaction, you know. The man. Let me play it, because I have it on my soundbite right there. So.
Hey yo, what the?
Sorry about that. Wrong one.
how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country. How exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
So, we have a prime minister here in Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, that is showing us all the signs of becoming a full dictator. Because he wants to use SOEs with our present constitution as is, to not allow criminals to hide behind being a citizen. I want to ask one idiot question. Aren't criminals citizens? Weren't they citizens before they became criminals? May I have our next question? Isn't it the responsibility of the government to ensure that they create opportunities for our citizens so they don't go into a life of crime? May I have our next question? How is Jamaica prosperous and growing, but crime and criminality is expanding? Is it the criminals, sons and daughters of citizens? How did they become non-citizens because they are criminals? What is he saying? Is he saying that criminals have no rights? Let me play the audio again.
How exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
Yo, I don't know if it's just me. Am I tripping? Am I bugging, guys? Am I overreacting to this? Am I overreacting to this? The man say how exceptional is these SOEs used to fight criminals that is hiding behind being a citizen. The last time I checked, when I go to court, oh, never mind. The police them nowadays, some of them, when them go for operation, everybody come back in a body bag most of the time when them going for criminals. No, I don't want it to be misconstrued, that I am advocating for criminals. No, I am not. I am advocating for people because that's what they are. Not all criminals are these evil people A lot of them grew up in these same situation that the politician created. And it's funny, in this speech he even mentioned that it's not only politics cause the crime in Jamaica, but I will say they have a big role to play in it. Way back in the 70s and the 60s, after we got independence, you, the politicians, and let's not, excuse me, I can show clip of Siaga talking about dance and how he entertains them in his constituency, and there's a role for dance, right? It is well documented who brought guns into this country, who control the ports. You guys planted a seed. The politicians planted a seed years ago, and now the citizens of Jamaica are not citizens that go into crime. Now the other thing that is alarming to me with this type of thinking, is that these guys can now paint somebody a criminal based off their intelligence, and have the people that is buying into this type of rhetoric have no remorse and no regard for those people's lives when the police unalive them. Because the Prime Minister says they are hiding behind being citizens of the country.
How exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
Hide behind the protection of being citizens of a country. We have a caller. Hello, good evening. Or good night.
Yeah, hello, good evening to you, sir. Good evening to your viewers.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Bolo, have you ever wondered why when the crime minister talk,
The Crime Minister.
talk about drugs? Yeah, the crime minister, cause that's what he is. Have you ever wondered the only thing him talk about is gunman? People not fighting over turf in Jamaica. So there's no need to have the state of emergency. The way you're using it is illegal. And you don't talk about drugs. You've never heard the Prime Minister or the minister, none of these people come and say, okay, drugs bring guns, it brings corruption. They don't talk about these things. All you talk about is gunman. The man who firing the gun don't have the money to buy the gun. So what are you saying? And then this just shows how far Jamaica is. Because if all those 49 people along with the Prime Minister and the Governor General can pass a state of emergency when it's clear that it's not supposed to be used for this purpose that he has been using it for. These people serve no purpose. And then every time, right now, is 33 people has been killed by the police since the start of the year. And just listen, we're going back and forth with just this 33. We have conflict with what the residents say and what the police says. And Oris Chang saying about 400 cameras. Since these police, since you don't have enough cameras, why you don't use those 400 cameras and every time they're going out on specialized operations, you give them these cameras? So there's no discrepancy. We have a mafia lead in Jamaica. And the people need to wake up and stop, listen, and follow the news when you hear say one somebody get shot and he pull a gun on the police. You say yes or true, but when it reach your door, you say, oh, I know so it did go. Come on. Wake up, Jamaica. Wake up. Wake up. This man no mean we no good. What has he done? How many of these just as somebody being locked up. We have drugs guard the airport, which has cameras, can't see who bring it there. And you tell me, say, up to now, Fitzbailey, he might leave and him not make the arrest. Come on, man. Come on. We need to do better. We need to do better. We need to get rid of most of these people who are in positions who are leading the country. Because they're not doing a good job. These people are for self. These people is not what they can do for their country, is what their country can do for them. That's my 2 cents, sir.
Big up yourself, Carla. Respect for that. Well said.
Yeah, man.
Well said, my boss. Well said. When you hear utterances like that, you don't really need to add anything, you know. You understand? I don't need to add a single variable, an adjective. I don't need to add nothing at all. You understand? And I really hope that the people of Jamaica in their masses has come to the realization that that gentleman has come to. Because you see, this is very deep, you know, ladies and gentlemen. I also heard him talk about their borders. And he talked about being independent. When in 2019 that Mr. Rattigan exposed, there is a entity called basically is a group that deals with your borders, the airplanes, access to your country, the sea. I already was talking about radar. I don't know how many of you guys watched that video that I posted on my platform with Will Rattigan exposing that this government, they asked the USA for assistance in securing their borders, right? And basically they got an answer from the USA. They got a recommendation. The recommendation they got, the entity, the company gave them an offer. The offer was, you don't have to pay us $1. We're gonna earn our money from the flights that people take to Jamaica, of the ticket sales. The entity also secures America's borders where drugs and guns is concerned, and their reputation speaks for itself. You understand? So I'm saying the government of Jamaica under Andrew Holness had a opportunity in 2019, 2020, round about there, to take up an offer that nobody can refuse, which is you not paying $8 to this company, right? And they would secure our borders from these transnational organized crime bodies. Drugs, guns, all of that. Now he's talking here in this video, which I encourage you guys to watch the full length of it. Like I said, they can go to Bolo VNR clips. I have it over there. Go and sub up to Bolo VNR clips. I'll be doing a lot more content over there that is exclusive to over there, right? But I'm saying he's talking about radar. He's talking about all this at the airport. All of those things are going to be offered by the company, you know. The technology, everything, for free. And they did not take the offer. But we are here, ladies and gentlemen, at this very moment, hearing the man say this.
To deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
Hey, man. You guys must know, you know. You guys must know. This man is telling you what he's about. When he said that, you know, listen, look at how long he paused for.
It will require an international coordinated effort.
Ball out! Whoa! Yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland.
Now I understand why several more correctional centers are being built. Lasso, my darling. Lasso, I'm glad you're there. Yeah? Listen to me. Listen to this, Lasso.
Exceptional and emergency
Listen to
dealing
this.
with finances of gangs, but coordinating how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
Our Prime Minister of Jamaica, unfortunately so, has the position that people that have not yet been convicted of a crime are not citizens of the country. They are labeled as non-citizens according to the Prime Minister. Now you have to ask yourself the question, is this why they have been saying the type of stuff they're saying, signaling to the police force? Shoot to kill, meet your judge or meet your maker. All of these things, him and Horace Chang, somebody that is on WikiLeaks allegedly, not even allegedly, on WikiLeaks, I don't know how true the information is, that he's into organized crime, but he's the Deputy Prime Minister of Jamaica and the Minister of Security, telling the police to allegedly shoot to kill. This man, Andrew Holness, is on a death path, a destructive path. His way of cleaning up Jamaica is to wipe out Jamaicans, in my opinion. The man don't even recognize the man them as citizens, brethren. Yo, I don't know about anybody else, but you cannot come back from this, You cannot explain this away, He's reading a speech. He thought about what he was saying before he said it. Right? And the man paused to listen and look on the reaction of the crowd. Look how long he paused for.
Dealing with finances of gangs, but coordinating how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
Wow. Listen, man. I'm at a loss, man. I could not believe it. Y'all just don't know how much it took me some restraint to not immediately come on live when I heard this 3 hours ago. I'm talking about immediately. If my internet was up, I would have been done this already.